Dr. Ben White is in Basingstoke, Hampshire, been working on the wards. We became pals during the junior doctors' controversy, I suppose, strike, call it what you will. And, well, he's been proved right about that. So interesting to hear where he is today. Do you encounter so-called lockdown sceptics or COVID sceptics or whatever they're calling themselves this week? Do you encounter them on the wards, Ben? Because there is that appalling story this week, and 2 men have been arrested, so I'll limit what I say. In which people filmed themselves trying to take a man out of the critical care ward and to remove oxygen from the patient while doctors begged them to leave him alone. Did you come across scepticism on the actual wards?
Yeah, I watched that, actually. That was shocking. But I thought that the staff were very, very good in that situation. I thought the staff coped with it. I haven't really. Good. There's always the odd whisperings of stuff, but we don't really see too much of it on the ward and in the hospital, which is why the amount of it on social media it's such a difference to the reality.
Yes. I don't get that, the gulf. I mean, a lot of people are referring me to more examples of Marjorie Taylor Greene in America, who's just ended up in Congress and who did indeed claim that the bushfires in California were caused by a Jewish laser that was fired from space. And we can still giggle at that, even what happened. And that's the gulf, isn't it? You're a doctor. It doesn't really make any sense to you in terms of quantity or quality, what is being punted as plausible online.
No. And I think your previous caller before saying about, exposing people to actually seeing firsthand what it looks like to be put on a ventilator or a breathing machine and turned on your back and on your front repeatedly just to try to keep you alive. But it shouldn't, it shouldn't have to take that to give somebody for somebody to believe that is what is really happening. And the problem, I think, is they feel like there's no repercussions for what they did or what they have done, or for some of them what they are still doing. Some of them have clearly faded away and they've deleted all their tweets and they're very quiet now. Yeah. And people are disowning them right, left, right and centre. But there are others that... And is there no mechanism for holding these people accountable? Because they have... And, I was just saying, I think it's a kind of violence. It's not the kind of violence where somebody is doing something direct to lead to, but it is indirectly led to people coming into hospital and dying because they have believed what has been put about, screenshots of statistical tables, which are nonsense, predictions that there's no second wave, these sorts of things. I'm not talking about mob rule. I know. I'm not talking about people, but I'm talking about a kind of a justice and a kind of an accountability. As a researcher or as a doctor, I was very scared of saying something which might lead to harm directly throughout the whole pandemic, right? Yes. And whenever you speak to your friends and family and anything like that, why do these people not have any of that sort of? Why do they not have that? Why were they so confident?
I don't know.
Did they seem to know more than all of Sage, Independent Sage, and everyone else? Why?
I don't know.
And where's the accountability for these people? Because they have
I know the answer to that bit.
Caused death.
You as a doctor say that the people posting nonsense about there being no second wave, or nonsense about masks not being necessary, or nonsense about figures being manipulated and hospitals not being overrun, you state categorically they have caused deaths, but you couldn't prove it in a court of law. And there's your problem. There's the absence of accountability.
2 days ago, I was on the ward and I had to call the wife and the son of a patient who I thought potentially was going to die in the next 12 hours. And I had to tell them that the way that things are at the moment, so full, we cannot allow you to immediately, that second, come in to see that person. Okay? This is happening all the time. People are dying on the wards because of coronavirus, and the reason I called the story touched me because they never got to see that person before they died.